Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Vancouver edition for Wednesday, November 27, 2024.
Fatal crash in Kamloops involves university volleyball player. A tragic crash took place in Kamloops, British Columbia, on November 29, 2023. Owen McGuinness, a 22-year-old volleyball player from the university, died in the accident. He was driving with two teammates when their Volkswagen was hit by a Dodge Ram truck that lost control. This collision caused a pileup, injuring 7 other people. The driver of the truck, Colville Abinet, faces charges for driving without due care. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police expressed condolences to the victims and their families. In honor of McGuinness, a scholarship has been established to remember his legacy.
Vancouver Park Board approves fee increases for 2025. On November 26, 2024, the Vancouver Board of Parks and Recreation voted to raise service fees by an average of 6% for 2025. A new 3% amenity improvement charge will also be added for certain attractions and services. This decision comes after a public engagement survey in 2024 showed that over 70% of respondents were willing to pay higher fees for park services. The amenity improvement charge will apply to specific services, including filming permits, the Stanley Park miniature train, and admission to the Van Dusen Botanical Garden. Revenue from this charge will go into a reserve fund for maintaining and improving park facilities. Steve Jackson, the Parks and Recreation General Manager, mentioned that the board had limited options, stating that increasing fees was better than cutting services or raising taxes. The approved increases also include a 6% rise in parking fees and a 7% increase in admission fees to arenas and fitness centers. Many community members voiced concerns about the rising costs and their effects on families. Park Board Chair Brennan Bastyovansky noted that the City of Vancouver does not allow the Park Board to keep the funds generated from its services, which led to the introduction of the amenity improvement charge. Tensions continue between the Park Board and City Council, especially regarding Mayor Sim's proposal to dissolve the Park Board and transfer its responsibilities to the Council.
Traffic delays on Highway 1 in British Columbia. Traffic delays are ongoing on Highway 1 in British Columbia due to several accidents. On November 26, 2024, incidents took place in Langley, Coquitlam, and Burnaby. A 2-car accident blocked the left lane in Langley, leading to significant traffic backups. In Coquitlam, an oil spill from an earlier accident obstructed lanes west of the Port Mann Bridge. Another 2-car accident in Burnaby also blocked the left lane. Traffic updates are provided every 10 minutes by 11:30 News Radio Vancouver. Drivers should stay alert and expect delays.
BC Health Executive fired over vaccine refusal. A health executive in British Columbia, Darrell Sturgeon, was fired for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine based on his religious beliefs. He held the position of Executive Director of Medical Affairs for Interior Health. After being dismissed in November 2021, he applied for employment insurance benefits but was denied due to misconduct. Sturgeon appealed this decision but was unsuccessful at 2 levels of the Social Security Tribunal. In August 2023, he sought a judicial review in federal court. The court ruled that Sturgeon had other options to challenge the mandatory vaccine policy, including filing a wrongful dismissal suit or making a complaint to the British Columbia Human Rights Commission. This case highlights the ongoing tension between public health mandates and individual rights.
Nordstrom reports strong earnings. Nordstrom, a leading department store chain based in Seattle, Washington, announced impressive earnings for the third quarter. The company reported $3.46 billion in revenue, which is a 4.3% increase from the same period last year. Analysts had predicted lower earnings, but Nordstrom's growth was fueled by rising demand for popular brands like On Running, Hoka, and Vuori. The company also focused on boosting its digital sales and expanding its off-price rack stores. Despite facing challenges in the retail market, Nordstrom saw a rise in foot traffic, with a 1.4% increase in regular stores and a 5% increase in rack stores. As the holiday season approaches, Nordstrom expects growth between 1% and 2%. This strong performance underscores the importance of adapting to consumer preferences and market trends in the retail industry.
Charges dropped against BC Mountie in shooting case. The British Columbia Prosecution Service has decided to stay charges against Constable Biagiani, a Mountie from Chilliwack, British Columbia. This decision comes after a shooting incident in January 2021, where Biagiani shot a man who was armed with a 14-inch barbecue skewer. Police responded to a domestic violence call and found the man after a 90-minute search. During the confrontation, the man refused to drop the skewer, which led to the shooting. He survived but suffered a gunshot wound to the chest. Following a preliminary inquiry, the prosecution sought expert opinions on the use of force and concluded that the evidence did not meet the standard for charges. This case raises significant questions about police conduct, mental health issues, and accountability in law enforcement.
Activism against violence towards women in Vancouver. On November 25, 2024, advocates came together in Vancouver, British Columbia, to kick off 16 days of activism focused on ending violence against women. Alarming statistics showed that 288 cases of intimate partner violence were reported in British Columbia in 2023. Last year, 187 women were killed across Canada, which means one woman is killed every 2 days. Angela McDougall, a leader in support services for battered women, urged for immediate action and policy changes to improve housing for victims. The conference highlighted the importance of educating young boys about respectful relationships. The provincial government, led by Attorney General Sharma, is reviewing how the legal system addresses cases of sexual assault and intimate partner violence, responding to an increase in these incidents during the COVID-19 pandemic. This event serves as a crucial reminder of the ongoing battle against violence towards women.
Netflix wins dismissal of shareholder lawsuit. On November 26, 2024, Netflix won the dismissal of a shareholder lawsuit that claimed the company misled investors about subscriber growth. The lawsuit was brought by trustee Fiaz Pirani from Texas after Netflix announced a loss of 200,000 subscribers in April 2022, the first decline in a decade. This news caused Netflix's stock to drop by 35%, resulting in a loss of over $54 billion in market value. U.S. District Judge John Tiger, in Oakland, California, ruled that Netflix's statements about being roughly 60% penetrated in the United States and Canada were not misleading, as they referred to paid subscribers and did not guarantee future growth. The judge found no evidence that Netflix hid important information about account sharing impacting growth. This ruling underscores the challenges Netflix faces in a competitive streaming market.
Rescue of bear cub in North Carolina. A bear cub, nicknamed Selfie Bear, was rescued in Asheville, North Carolina. In April 2024, a group of people removed the cub from a tree to take photos, which caused it to become separated from its mother and sibling. Wildlife officials discovered the frightened cub in a nearby pond, scared but otherwise healthy. The cub spent 6 months in rehabilitation to prepare it for survival in the wild. In October 2024, the cub was successfully released back into its natural habitat, equipped with a GPS collar for monitoring. This incident serves as a reminder of the importance of respecting wildlife and practicing safe behavior around animals.
RCMP officer shot in Midway, BC. On November 26, 2024, an officer from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police was shot while on duty near Midway, a small town in British Columbia, Canada. The shooting took place on a Forest Service road. The officer suffered non-life-threatening injuries and is receiving medical care. One suspect has been arrested. The Independent Investigations Office, which looks into serious incidents involving police, is handling the investigation. This incident raises important questions about safety in the community.
BC Premier addresses U.S. tariff threat. British Columbia Premier David Eby spoke about the proposed 25% tariff on Canadian goods by U.S. President-elect Trump. Eby pointed out the potential damage this tariff could inflict on workers and families in both Canada and the United States. He stressed the significance of the trade relationship, noting that Canada buys more American goods than several major countries combined. Business leaders in British Columbia raised urgent concerns about the economic effects of these tariffs on local businesses. A meeting of Canadian leaders is set to discuss strategies to tackle this trade issue.
Russian drone attack injures civilians in Kyiv. A Russian drone attack on Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, injured 3 people, with 2 requiring hospitalization. The attack damaged a non-residential building in the Dniprovsky district. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko reported the incident via Telegram, emphasizing the ongoing threat to civilian safety. Serhiy Popko, head of Kyiv's military administration, confirmed that air defense units were active in the city after the attack. The Ukrainian military stated that air defense systems intercepted 36 out of 89 drones launched by Russian forces overnight. However, 48 drones were unaccounted for, and 5 crossed into Russian and Belarusian airspace. This drone strike followed a significant increase in hostilities, with Russia launching a record number of drones targeting Ukraine the day before, causing widespread power outages and damage to residential buildings in other regions. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to threaten civilian safety and infrastructure, raising serious concerns about the humanitarian impact of these military actions. That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.